So 3, a third, and then 4 is on the other side. Multiply 3 times 4 to get 12. I multiply 4 times 1/3 and get 4/3. Because when I multiply a whole number by a fraction, you just multiply by your numerator and then keep your denominator, so 4/3, which is the same as 1 and 1/3. So 12 plus 1 and 1/3. I add my whole numbers, that gives me 13 and 1/3. So 13 and 1/3. Okay, and then there's lots of potential number stories that you can have, but this was the one from the key. Jim drew a picture. Forget that that's not as easy to see in pencil. The coil pen. Jim drew a picture that was 3 1/3 inches wide. I'm just going to shorten it to IN period inches wide. His teacher enlarged the photo with 4 times as much. How many inches wide is the new picture? Any other stories you would like to share, Max?
Max has a room. On one side, he has 4 tiles. On the other side, he has 3.5 tiles, or 3 1/3 tiles.
Asher?
Oh, right, so I had 4 pieces of string, and each piece of string was 1/3 inches long.
And then how many total does he have? Yes, excellent. Tyson, and then George, and then Chloe.
T-Pex eats 1/3 feet a day. Goldie eats 4 times as much. How much feed does Goldie eat?
Excellent. T-Pex eats 3 1/3 servings bag, whatever it is, feed a day. Goldie eats 4 times as much. How much does Goldie eat? She's a consumer. Oscar.
Has 4 ice cream cones. Each of them has 3 1/3 scoops. How many scoops are there?
Excellent. We've got 4 ice cream cones. Each cone has 3 1/3 scoops. How many total scoops do we have? We have 13 and 3. Excellent. George?
There are 4 books. They all weigh 3 1/3 pounds. How much do they weigh together?
4 books, each weigh 3 1/3 pounds. How much do they all weigh together? Beautiful. Chloe, you want to share?
Chloe has 4 pounds of cocoa powder. 3 1/3 how many pounds of cocoa powder?
So Chloe has 4 pounds of cocoa powder. Mira has 3 1/3 times as much cocoa powder as her. How much do they have total? Yes, there you go. Okay. Or how much is that total? Okay, beautiful. All right, moving on down to the next one. 6 1/4 times 2, or 6 2/5. 5 1/4, 6 2/5. Lots of numbers right there. Okay, I'm going to also use the area model on this one because there's a lot of different pieces and it can get very mixed up very fast. So I'm going to take my first number and split it into partial products. Again, if you have a different method, that's totally okay. So 5, and then I've got a fourth. And then on the other side, I have 6 2/5, however you want to split that up. Okay. So then from there, I'm going to take 5 times 6, and I'm going to write 30 in this box. And I'm keeping them in the box so I have all my numbers organized. And then I'm going to stick with my 5. 5 times 2/5. Well, I can do that over here. 5 times 2/5. 5 times 2 is 10, and I put that over 5. 10/5 is the same as 2. 10 divided by 5 equals 2. So 2 comes in this box. Okay, 4 10/5. Okay. And then I do 1/4 times 6, same thing. 6 times 1/4, multiply by my numerator, keep that over my denominator, 6/4. That's the same thing as 1 and 2/4. So 1 and 2/4, or 6/4, whichever one you want in there. And then I have a fraction by a fraction, 1/4 times 2/5. So I'm going to do 1/4 times 2/5, and I just multiply across. 1 times 2 is 2, 4 times 5 is 20. So then I've got 2/20. Okay. So now I need to add all of these numbers up. So I've got 30 plus 2 plus 1 and 2/4 plus 2/20. Chloe.
What I did is I just took I have 10 bits and
Mm-hmm.
1 and 2 bits, and I know that my common denominator is 20.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So Chloe kept that 10/5 instead of changing it to 2 and found that common denominator 20 for fifths, for the 10/5 for the 1 and 2/4, because we already have a 2/20. So that was that common denominator. Excellent. Okay, so I might add all my whole numbers. So 30 plus 2 plus 1, that's 33. Can I add 2/4 and 2/20 together like that? No, I need to find that common denominator like Chloe was telling me. I think it's easy to pick the one that we already have. It's going to be 20 like Chloe said. So how do I get from fourths as my denominator to 20ths, Senna? I multiply by 5. So I'm going to take it over here. 2/4 times 5 plus u times 5. So we've got 10/20. Now can I add 10/20 to 2/20?
Yes.
I was like, this is kind of an easy question. Yes. Okay. So 10/20, 2/20. I should have 12/20. 33 and 12/20. Can you reduce that fraction if you want to? Yes, you sure can. You can do 6/10. You can go even further than that. Okay. So 33 and 12/20. A lot of steps, but they're easy steps. You just got to make sure you stay organized in what you're doing. Okay, find the area of this bedroom. Okay, you can split this up into the area model as well, or even if you have a different method, you are more than welcome to do that. And I think the area model just keeps us consistent and clear in what we're doing. So I'm going to split this up, my 2 and a third, and I'm just going to write my numbers on the bottom. So I've got 2, please stop with whatever that noise is, and a third. On the other side, I have my 4, my 3/4. Okay, I'm going to start with the easiest. 2 times 4 is 8. And then we'll do 2 times 3/4. I'll put that kind of over here and do it on this guy so I don't waste space. Okay. 2 times 3/4. 2 times 3 is 6 over 4, which is the same thing as 1 and 2/4. We had that number last time. So I'm going to just do 2 3/4, 1 and 2/4. Or 6/4 again, however you want to do that. Okay, and then I'm going to go back over here. 4 times a third. Whole number times numerator. 4 times 1 is 4 over 3. Because I keep my denominator the same. This can also be written as 1 and 1/3. So 4/3 or 1 plus u, 1 and 1/3. Two options. Got it. Okay, and then 1/3 times 3/4. We know that, nice and easy. Multiply across bottom. 3/12. And I've got 3/12 here. So I have 8 4/3. 6/4, 3/12. Can I add all of those fraction pieces together like that? Turn around, face forward. Can I add 6/4, 3/12, and 4/3 together like that? No, I cannot. Okay, I need to find what? Common denominator, which is going to be 12. Yes. Okay, we already have it. So 4/3. Well, I guess I'm gonna do it with the 1/3. Okay, 1/3 times 4 times 4 is going to get us 4/12 because I changed this into a whole number. Okay, and then for 1 2/4, need to multiply by 3. It's going to get me 6/12. So now I have those common denominators. I'm going to add my whole numbers. So I have 8 plus 1 plus 1. And then 8, 1, 1. That's going to be 10. Now I need to add those fraction pieces together. I've got 4/12 plus 6/12 plus 3/12. And that gets me 13/12. Do I leave that as a fraction? No. Okay, so I need to change that to 1 and 1/12. Add these two guys together. That gives us 11 and 1/12 meters squared. Yes? Okay. All right, dividing fractions. Whole numbers by fractions. Okay, this is the one where we take our whole number, we put it over 1, and then we find our common denominator. Unless you've got another thing, then you do you. Okay, but this is a method that they taught us through the book. So, what's my common denominator with third? Oscar. I want to have a third as the bottom. Okay, so I need to multiply by 3. So then we'll have 15/3 divided by 1/3. Do I even really need to look at my denominators here? Nope. Okay, 15 divided by 1 is 15. So my answer is 15. To check, you're going to use the opposite of division, which is multiplication. Good job. So I'm going to take my answer, 15 times 1/3, the opposite of what I did with it originally. 15 times 1, 15 over 3, and 15 divided by 3 is 5. So yes, that is correct. I should get back to my original number that I started with. The second one, it is flipped. The fraction comes first, so we are dividing by a whole number. Okay, so I have 1/5, 6 over 1. I need to get that common denominator between the two of 5. So I'm going to multiply by 5. 1/5 divided by 3/5. 1 divided by 30 equals what? 1/30. If your fraction is first, the 1 is going to be in your numerator. Your whole number will be in the denominator. Okay, so 1/30th. And then I can check with multiplication. 1/30th times 6. And then 6/30th is the same as 1/5. Correct. Excellent. Okay, page 2. I'm sure that you guys have more listed than I do. I just took what the book gave me on this one. So if you have more, we can talk about it. But name as many as you can for, probably show you the shape. This one, I'll take some. Yes, Mary, you can go ahead. Ashley and then Chloe. Ashley, give me one.
Trapezoid, then quad.
Give me one. Yep, trapezoid. Chloe. Okay, parallelogram, what are we feeling? Yes to know. Okay, what are the qualities of a parallelogram? Tiger. Two pairs of parallel sides. Okay, these are not parallel, they're going opposite of each other. If they were both going one way, they would be a parallelogram. Oh yeah, this is all just practice, so I love that we're taking opportunities this year. Tyson. Quadrilateral. It's got four sides. Quadrilateral. Oscar. Polygon. What are we thinking? What are we thinking? Sure think it could be a polygon that wasn't in our quadrilateral hierarchy, but it could be a polygon for sure. Because as we said, it's not even in here. I took it from. Never mind. Okay, what about this one over here? Willow. A rhombus. George. A trapezoid. Senna. Parallelogram. Willow. Could be a kite. Tiger. Could be a quadrilateral. Awesome. Polygon. Excellent. More than the book, people. Good job. Okay, down below, can this shape be named a parallelogram? Why or why not? This is a two-parter. Say a yes or no and your explanation. Willow, tell me. Yes, because it has, love it, two pairs of parallel. Okay, what about that next one? George? No, because it does not have four equal sides in length. Love it, you guys. Awesome. Doesn't have four sides equal. And we're rolling. Okay, Susie made four pies. If one serving of pie is considered a sixth of the pie, how many servings does Susie have? Are we doing multiplication or division? Division, because the four pies splitting it into six per serving. I know, because my immediate thought, and you guys know how I am, I like to tell you the honest thing. My immediate thought was also multiplication, just by saying, I don't do that head shake because a lot of people thought that way too. Okay, because it just may seem like the first thing that we think of, right? You're trying to figure out how many you may be thinking of multiplying to get more, but we are actually dividing because each serving is worth a six. So that is cutting four pies into six pieces. Does that logic make sense now? Okay, because I know other people, you're like, yeah, obviously it's division, but other people's brains do not immediately jump in that same thought process that you do. Chloe, your test is tomorrow. Test is tomorrow. Okay, so that is why we are doing division. Again, I just want to explain. Four pies, each is a six, so we have to cut those pies into six. Okay, so four divided by 1/6. Four pies being divided into six. Oscar. Yep, 24 servings. Okay, so 4 divided by 1/6 is our number model. Okay, then I need to take whole number, put it over 1. I need to find that common denominator. It's going to be 6. So I'm going to multiply by 6, multiply by 6. 6 times 4, 24, over 1, or 6, divided by 1/6. 24 divided by 1 is 24. Practically, if you were to divide the denominators, 6 divided by 6 is 1, which is 24 seconds. And again, we talked, just correctly, I talked to the math teachers, the middle school math teachers last week. They will take off points if you are not showing your work. So if you go through the whole test and you do not show your work, you could lose, if there's 15 questions, you could lose like 7 points because half of your credit will be taken off because you're not showing your work. I confirmed that with them. If you do not show your work, you're losing points next year. And that can take you from an A to a B to a C to a D, a D to an F. So be showing your work. Alrighty, create a line plot for the following. What do we want to label it at the top? Senna. Is it TV shows you watched? George.
I said Joe's friends the time to watch TV.
Joe's friends time they watch TV. I'm gonna take a few other suggestions. Asher, Samir.
Hours of TV Joe's friends watched last night.
9 hours TV Joe's friends watched last night. Here.
Hours watched Joe's friends.
Okay. Max.
Hours of TV Joe's friends watched.
Okay, something along those lines. Hours. You could even say time. Joe's friend watched TV last night because we're gonna write hours down here too. Hours. Joe's friend watch TV last night. There's our title. Okay, what is our measurement? What's on the second line? So hours is our specific. That's in the parentheses. Willow. What does hours refer to? What kind of measurement? Chloe. Time. Time, and then you're specifically measuring in hours. Just like if we were talking about height, we would talk specifically about feet or inches or something like that. All right, then I'm going to go through and I'm going to mark them off my tick marks. I'm going to do fourths because I've got fourths, halves, 3/4. So I think fourths would be good. They started at 0, so I'll start at 0, 0, 1/4, 1/2, 3/4, 1, 1, 1/4, 1 1/2, 1 3/4, 2, 2 1/4, 2 1/2, 2 3/4, 3. I'm gonna mark my X's. I've got 1 on a fourth. Got 1 on 2 1/2. 1/2. 1 2 hours. Yes.
If you started out 1/4 and ended at
3 1/4. You're fine. Yeah, that's how I did it on my first one. I'm just doing it a different way on this one. 2 1/2. 1 1/2. Oh, they're right next to each other. 1/2. 1. 1 1/2. Half. 4. 2 1/2. 2. 3. 2 3/4. Should look like this. Okay, what is the difference between the longest amount of time and the shortest amount of time his friend spent watching TV? And again, it reminds me if we're talking mean, median, range, which one is this? You can just yell it. Range. Oscar.
Uh, 2 3/4 hours.
2 3/4 hours. We take 3 minus 1. Ooh, that's a really cool artist. Minus 1/4. If I take away 3 minus 1/4, it's going to give me 2 and 1/3. 2 and 3/4. Huzzah. All right. How many friends spent an hour or less watching TV? George. 7. An hour or less. So that includes the hour there. Okay. How much time did those students, the 7 students, spend watching TV combined? After
I got
3 and 1/4. Okay. So I have 1 plus 1/2 plus 1/2 plus 1/2.
Oh, was it all these things?
No, how much did those students? 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4. That's 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. I don't know. That's where I got my square sheet. I was like, that's where I didn't count the one yesterday. I forgot about it. Okay, so then I can add 1/2 1. Okay, and then 1/4 is 1/2 plus 1/2 is 1. So I've got 3. I've got this little guy left over here and 4. Okay, you could also have like 1, and then you have a half times 3, and a fourth times 3. 3 halves, 3 fourths. You can go that route, and then find common denominator, and then add it together and do all that nonsense. But it's up to you how you want to get there. 3 and 4. Oh my gosh. This is the second time I've done this. So okay, left page.
Yeah.
Huzzah. Okay, use the given rules to fill out the columns of the table. So we have our in rule is +4, our out rule is +1. So if I have 0, it's going to go 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. Then +1 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What is happening from the in column to the out column, Max?
November 4th.
We're dividing by 4, which that makes sense because if our in rule is +4 and our out rule is +1, to get from 4 to 1, we need to divide by 4. Make sense? So if you're in your test and you're like, I don't even know where to start this rule, look at your in and your out rules up top. That will help you a lot, especially if there is a plus something on top of that. Having those in and out rules will help you a lot. Okay, and then I need to write them as ordered pairs. So I am including 0, 0, 4, 1, 8, 2, 12, 3, 16, 4, 25. Okay, please stop me. Okay, and then I'm going to plot them. 0, 0, 4 up 1, 8 up 2, 12, 3, 16, 4, 25. And yes, you want to use these straight edge to make sure that your points are very nice and your line is real nice. Voila. Okay, the graph marks the situation. Alex saves a fourth of money he earns walking the dog. If he earns $12, how much money did he save? Emmett, how much money did he save? Save $3. How do we get to $3 here? Nolan. Divided by 4. 12 divided by 4 got 3. Or if you were looking at the graph, the amount of dollars he earns is coming across your x-axis. The amount of money he's saving is your y-axis. Okay, so I can put 12, you save $3. Or you can divide by 4. That works. Okay, Alex earned $18. About how much money has he saved? And again, you can look at the graph or you can divide by 4. Abby.
$4.50.
$4.50. $4.50. If I go to 18, 4.5, or you can divide 18 divided by 4, and that would give you 4.5. Short. Yep, that's awesome. And with that, you need to put your study plans in your homework folder now because your test starts tomorrow. And then we will finish it on Monday. I need your homework packet too. I need to like redo all those pages, or at least like the last few.